plaintiff, Bill Robbins, was married to the defendant, and he claimed she was a pill popper and a crack addict who had him falsely arrested for assault. Bill says he raised the defendant's 18-year-old daughter as his own. But a month ago, the defendant told him he may not be her father. So he petitioned the court for a DNA test and is suing for emotional distress. Defendant Donna Robbins admits that she was a crack addict, but insists Bill used crack and meth with her. Donna believes Bill is still in love with her, but she refuses to rekindle their romance because he's verbally and mentally abusive. Donna admits to telling Bill he was not her daughter's father.
Sir, you're suing your ex-wife for $3,000 for emotional distress, and you've petitioned the court for a DNA test, and I suppose you want to receive a judgment if you are not the father?
Your Honor,
that's why you're here seeking $3,000?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, this is my ex-wife, Donna, and she's made my life a living hell.
How long were you all married?
I'm gonna say 5 years.
When did you meet her?
I'm gonna say 98.
Okay.
She was my best friend's girlfriend, and he's deceased, and that's how we got together, was talking about him.
Okay.
She's made my life a living hell.
When did it begin? Because you all have been together nearly 20 years.
Right, in 99, I worked 80, 100 hours every day, every week.
You mean a week?
Every week, and I didn't know how she was. By the time I found out how she was, all right, she was on drugs bad, pill popping. She sold somebody a pill, and they died. And then she got on the crack.
What year did all this begin?
Well, it would have been the year.
How many years after meeting her did this start?
I didn't know how she was for the first year, Your Honor.
So a year later, you found out?
Yes.
All of that, how did you find out?
She had lost her Xanaxes, and she had called the sheriff, said, well, if you don't give me my medicine back, I'm gonna call the sheriff to you. So I'm like, I didn't take your medicine. And I said, well, you go ahead and call the sheriff. I went outside waiting for the sheriff to get there. The sheriff came up, knocked on the door, and they come back and asked me, did you tear up the house? While I was out there waiting for the sheriff, she turned the kitchen table over and broke a bunch of stuff, and I went to jail. When I got out of jail...
She alleged you had hit her?
Yes, sir.
Physically abused her?
Yes, sir.
And that's why? Go ahead.
That's why I went to jail. And, and when I got to get out and come home, she found her Xanaxes in the windowsill behind the curtains where she had left them.
All right. So that's one big incident.
That's one big incident.
What else? How did you discover she was on crack?
She didn't get on the crack until after she had got busted.
He was doing it with me.
Your Honor.
She got now I got to get the story first. She got busted for Xanax later on?
No, sir.
All right, you said she didn't get on crack until she got busted.
When she got busted for selling the man the pill that killed him.
Xanax?
No.
What pill?
Methadone. He'd done 846 Xanaxes before he came to my house.
He had done Xanax?
Yes.
She didn't give it to him?
I wasn't there, Your Honor. I'm just going by what the coroner said.
Let's move on, sir. So how long did she serve in jail?
5 years.
All right, wow. And because the person died. All right. Let's see, ma'am, let me hear
Your
from you.
Honor, I want to say, I know part of that right there, it is the truth. I have been clean, though, for now, 8 years now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And have you had many relapses, if any?
No, I have not had no relapses.
Good.
And the reason why that he knows about the drugs and stuff, because he used to do them with me.
What did he do? What type of drugs did he do with you?
Crack and meth as well.
Is that true?
No, sir. Your Honor, I had to buy crack for her to get her to come home.
You never used it?
No, sir.
Why would you buy crack for her?
For her to come home and spend time with us, period.
So she wouldn't come home unless you had crack?
Right.
Okay, sir.
I took her
Anyway,
to
Your
rehab
Honor.
twice, Your
All
Honor.
right, but when she came home and was using the crack, you didn't see her anyway.
Yeah.
She was in the room smoking. Or in the bathroom smoking. So you
wouldn't-
really didn't see her. Come on home. We'll get you some crack so we can spend time with you. You ain't spent no time. How you going to spend time with a crackhead and you give him some crack?
It wasn't
You're not
even-
going to spend time with a crackhead if you give him some crack unless you're smoking it with him.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unless you're smoking it with him.
Thank
That's
you,
the only
Your
way you're
Honor.
going to spend
That's
time.
right. That's right.
Go ahead,
Exactly.
ma'am. So you say
Anyway,
he was
Your
smoking
Honor.
crack with you.
Right, and all this boils down to that he is still in love with me, and I want to go on because he is poison, and
How so?
because of the verbal abuse and mental abuse.
Okay. All right. And he says it's been 19 years of living hell. Would you say you started about that time using drugs and giving
I
him
was
hell?
clean, at first, and then after about 3 years into our in the relationship, he's the one who got me
In the drugs? All right, but nonetheless, it happened 3 years into the relationship.
Right.
All right,
And,
so you only live in hell for 16 years, I believe.
Right, because I
All
went
right,
to
now
prison for 5 years.
Okay.
And,
He's trying to put 3 more on you, and I'm not going to let
I
him
know.
do it. It was 16, sir. Go ahead. What makes you think the child, it might be a question?
Your Honor, I have raised her before, during, and after. I have put her first. I have made sure she had new shoes, clothes, food, the lights on. I have put my kids first. I have raised them. I changed all of her diapers.
Really?
Yes, sir.
That's
She
a
was
lie.
that, your wife was that
Yes.
dysfunctional?
Yes, that's right.
So why now, after changing diapers, providing all this support, doing all these things, are you now saying she might not be my daughter? Or I'm not sure that she's my daughter.
She said that there's a 50-50 chance that she's not.
When did she tell you that?
A month ago.
How did that come up?
I had dropped my younger daughter off over there, and whenever she got I picked her up. She said, "Daddy, Mom introduced me to a man," and she said that was my real daddy.
Your daughter told you that.
My daughter told me that, and I told her that I have a DNA on her, and that I know that I'm her dad, but that I don't have a DNA on Caitlin.
That's interesting. Has this ever come up before? In the past year?
It came up before. She had there was 3 women that she went to court. She had took their money and took their money. They were renting a house from her, and then kicked them out. And then she didn't want me to go to
That's a
court.
crackish move, so yeah.
She didn't want me to be in the court. After court, the grandmother, the mother, and the daughter come and told me that she was seen out with another man.
Hearsay.
How old is your daughter?
She's 18.
Okay, so that was 18 years ago
Yes,
when they
me.
told you.
Right, and I questioned it 18 years ago, and she swore up and down that there wasn't no chance that
Why
was
didn't
a
you
lie.
make her take the test then? Or you just
I
went
tried
for
to get them to take the test in whenever we did the
And he
DNA
signed
on
the birth
first one.
certificate.
So man,
Your
why?
Honor.
Well, why is he doing this today?
Yes, he's an idiot, Your Honor.
Did you take your daughter around a man and tell her
No,
that
Your
that
Honor.
man was her father?
I did not. He's done smoked too much crack.
Your Honor, she's got me
It is what
fired.
it is.
When?
This would have been, I would say, 2002. 2002.
Sir. We're not going to go over what you and your wife went through in the early 2000s. All right, ma'am. He has never told you that he was told that the child might not be his.
No. We got into this verbal statement, and I did say that Caitlin is not his kid.
You told him that?
Yes, I did
Why?
tell him that.
there
Because
is
I
a
want him
question.
to leave me alone. No, because, I had just told him that, but I know for a fact
you would
that
destroy your daughter to get him to stop calling you? Is that what you're saying? You would
Yes,
destroy your
no.
daughter's life?
No.
Yeah, you're still on crack.
No,
You're
I'm not
definitely on crack.
No.
If you would tell somebody this, which ultimately you're telling your daughter
I
that
can
this
take a
might
drug
not
test.
be your dad,
and that it might not.
okay. And so your daughter says, "Oh my goodness, After 18 years, my mother is telling me it might not. Why are you grinning? This isn't funny what you've done to your daughter. All of a sudden, my mother is saying that this might not be my dad. Destroying her. That's what you've done.
Can I hug her?
In addition to your crack use over the years, which ultimately caused her pain and hardship. You should be ashamed of yourself. Don't look back, look at me. You didn't care when you were destroying her with this nonsense about him not being the father, intentionally lying. Intentionally lying. You intentionally lied over an argument, and that resulted in the destruction of your daughter. Do you see how she's crying like right now? I promise you this isn't the first time she's cried about this.
Too much stress. Oh, this has been too much.
I don't know what else to say to you. I'm trying to think of something else to say to you.
Can I speak?
Yes, sir.
We have another daughter. I went to jail several times from just trying, because I knew she didn't go 5 minutes without taking a large dose of drugs that I knew that the child wasn't going to be right. And the sheriff department would come out and they would throw me on the ground and they would carry me to jail. And I would tell them, look, I just want her to stop taking all the stuff that she's taking so that the baby will have a chance. And I have to deal with her every day.
Well, leave me alone.
I'm not
Go on
bothering
with
you.
your
I don't
life.
want you around. She tried to have me put in jail for 25 years. The only thing that saved me was that I was at the secretary of the district attorney's house, and I couldn't have done. I went and beat her up like she said that I did.
Do you believe she's been in recovery for 8 years?
I don't believe she's messed with the crack or anything. But I know that I have been through a living hell. I've been in counseling and therapy all summer with my other daughter. Kaylin has helped me with the counseling and therapy with the other daughter. It's been horrible. I mean, I've had everything from sugar put in my gas tank to, like I say, I have done everything. I put these kids first. I made sure that they got everything that they needed. I went without. She doesn't help, you know?
Let's get the results.
Okay. I am a good dad. I have tried my best to protect them from her. And it has not been easy.
You know, it hasn't been in vain. She's your daughter. Good luck. Dismiss their money.
I told you, don't know.
I just want to be a family, and I know they're not on drugs.
Donna, I just want you to leave me alone. I haven't kept you from seeing the kids, and you just please let me alone. And
I just want to go on with my life.
I will go on
without
with
him.
just leave me alone.
Well, fine.